In the fight against climate change, fungi and forests are some of our closest allies. And did you know fungi, like mushrooms, actually help trees absorb carbon dioxide quickly, and it slows the carbon in the soil from returning back into our atmosphere?
Yes, and we've talked about on the show before the interfungal networks, right, in the forest. They're actually disappearing at an alarming rate, which is super problematic. We're joined today by mycologist Dr. Paul Stamets to learn a lot more about this industry and this field specifically. Dr. Stamets, thanks so much for giving us your time. We've seen you all over the place. Can you kind of just break down the magic of mushrooms and why you think this is actually our saving grace?
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I'm a weather nut. I have 2 Davis Pro stations.
Yeah,
nice.
I think one of the smartest decisions IBM ever did was investing into this technology. So it's fantastic. And weather is obviously a big concern for all of us, from global climate change. But here's what I want to bring into perspective. People know that mushrooms are 90% water. I think everyone realizes the majority of the mass is water. But what people may not realize is mushrooms produce so many spores, they become nuclei for rain droplets. So when you have mushrooms produced, locally, even from a mushroom kit, or little mushrooms in your backyard, it creates a highly localized climate benefit of increasing humidity and then precipitation. So when you look at these micro environments that go to local, that go to regional, that go to global, by investing in these fungal networks, we are actually investing in making climate less arid, more moist. And so the evaporation from these mycelial networks, also, it raises relative humidity. And mushrooms have a vested interest in their own destiny. All organisms should. We should, note to self. And so the mushrooms are trying to create a climate that's conducive for their own progeny. The other thing I want to introduce that very few people understand, in fact, scientists did not really know this. Another example where folklore has been being validated by science. It was often thought, in England and Mesoamerica and Eastern Siberia, when the lightning strikes occur, that mushrooms can come up. Even the North Plains Native Americans believe in this. Well, we know that lightning stimulates the mycelium to form mushrooms, but moreover, when there's lightning, there's thunder. And now we know that sound waves stimulate mycelium into growth.
Oh, this is true. This is crazy. No, this is good, Dr. Stamets. I mean, we can listen to you, and I'm just oohing and on.
Yeah, no, that is incredible, the weather connection there. Yeah. So we want to bring it back to, climate change here. And, what exactly about climate change is threatening these fungal networks?
Well, by far is deforestation and overpopulation. When I was a younger man, I was set chokers in the woods logging, and I, was part of cutting down the old growth forest. And the old growth forest, the temperature in thsi was 50 degrees or Fahrenheit to 10 degrees Celsius. And then when you cut down the trees, it went to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. When you see that, a parking lot is hotter than a forest. Really?
Right.
Well, when you start deforestation on a global level, you're basically losing so much of the benefits that the forest offer. And so replanting trees by far is the most single important thing that people can do. And also, counterintuitively, I know this is controversial, is people are removing wood debris so we can reduce fire danger. 10 to 20% of wood becomes water from fungi. So if you can, keep the wood debris on the ground, there's about a 2-year margin of it could be a threat to fires. But once it becomes saprophytized by fungi, it releases water. And all of you gardeners who mulch with wood chips know this so well. You spread the wood chips apart and the ground is cold and full of moisture.
Right.
12 inches of wood chips will become 1 inch of wood chips in about a year. And as wood chips are transformed into soil and releases water. So water lenses are weeping up and raising the water tables. And of course, then mushrooms form, more nuclei, more precipitation.
Dr. Stamets, we only have about 30 seconds left. So obviously this is great, right? Reduce deforestation, plant more trees. But what about the mushrooms themselves? Is there anything else we can do other than just try to plant more trees specifically?
Yes, take your kids for walks in the woods. It's like a giant Easter egg hunt. It's intergenerational, it's intercultural. It's a wonderful vocation for people and avocation for people to engage in is go out in nature and explore it. Once you understand nature and you explore the forest, you'll better want to protect them.